And so deepening our gratitude to God is our goal today. And deepening our gratitude to God will not only make us happier people in general, because we will recall God's blessings. We'll be far less likely to be discontent or grumbling if we're grateful. But deepening our gratitude will also motivate our prayers, motivate us as praying people who expect God to work based on what He has done and what He promises to do. And since we want to see God work in our world, since we see the desperate needs around us, since we know that God works through the prayers of His people, then I want to do everything I can to motivate myself to be a person, a man of prayer. And we want to share those motivations. We want to live out those motivations with one another. And so that is our labor today as we learn from the Apostle Paul's example. We certainly want to be those kind of people who are not marked by grumbling and complaining and discontent and bitterness and worry. And so we want to deepen our gratitude as an antidote to such miserable attitudes and practices that tempt us and plague us. That is our pursuit as we dig a bit deeper into Paul's reasons for thankfulness for this beloved Philippian church. And we think about that and about what else Paul says here in verse 6. We can put it under maybe a first application point as a header, the first of 3 points you might say today to help us deepen our gratitude. Point number 1, deepen your gratitude by rehearsing promises about God. Deepen your gratitude by rehearsing promises about God. Take biblical promises about who God is, about what He has said of Himself, of His plans, of His work, of His commitments, and rehearse those. Rehearse them. That is, say them to yourself over as if you're saying them because you need to memorize them. I mean, go over them in your mind. Let the truths, let the theology about God shape and sharpen your thinking to root you in dependence upon Him and thankfulness to Him. And so to stoke the fires of your prayer life, to deepen the fullness of your gratitude, rehearse to yourself those promises about God. To deepen your gratitude, rehearse promises about God. And yet also realize that Godward focus, that banking all on Him supremely above all, that does not mean that we keep others at a distance so they don't disappoint us. No, deep gratitude toward God is not a path away from intimate partnership with others. No. Instead, the closer we draw near to Him, the closer we will be near with spiritual brothers and sisters who are invested in gospel ministry. And we see that as we move to verse 7. The second point, to deepen our gratitude. Number 2, deepen your gratitude by recognizing partners under God. Paul wasn't perfect, but he zealously cared for and gladly celebrated these proven partners in the gospel. And so he thanked God. And then he told them about it. He told them he thanked them. And so, note thirdly, deepen your gratitude by relishing passions from God. That may not be the best way to say it, but you get the idea. Realize that God can give Christ-like emotions, holy desires in fellowship, treasured unity of purpose and partnership. And when He does, don't be afraid to express it and share it and view it as a gift from Him to enjoy. Relish it in that sense. Enjoy it, appreciate it. Don't suppress it or ignore it or be ashamed of it. Be thankful that you love the people of God with whom you share life and ministry and delight in the blessing of it. If you do know Him, if you do follow Him, be sure you thank Him. And deepen your gratitude. Grow it by rehearsing promises about God, by recognizing partners under God, and by relishing passions from God. Those truths enrich our lives week by week together, and He calls us to remember Him and thank Him together.